Finally together again.
Yes. Okay, we're about to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Voices of the Fraternity with myself, Manda. And this is a place where we explore different careers with the aim really to inspire, but also to educate people on how to become a certain professional. So for the month of October, we will be looking at different designations. And today we've got a multi-hyphenator when it comes to designations. Today I'm sitting with Shannon May Gerba.
Yay. Hi.
Yay.
Happy to be here. So excited to be here.
So excited to have you here.
Thank
so
you.
excited. I like to tell the people how I came to know my guests. So
Lovely.
with Shannon, I was telling her that, Shannon, we were once on a deal together when she was at one of the audit firms and I'm at a law firm. And yeah, she was on the financial due diligence side of the transaction and I was on the legal due diligence side
Legal
of
DDs.
legal DDs.
They're always so complicated.
Really?
I would go through it and I didn't understand a single thing. I had no idea what was going on. So then I realized I had the finance brain.
I think that's how we feel about financial DDs.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, at most we can probably read an annual financial statement. Everything else, no, thanks.
It's actually the most important part. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's my first podcast ever, so I'm very excited.
To start off, we're going to do an icebreaker.
Oh, okay.
You have an option.
Yeah.
on
Tell
which
me my options. What are my choices?
So we've got those cards,
Okay.
which are conversation starters of some sort.
Okay.
And the second option is I give you a word and you sing a song that has that word.
I definitely will not be doing that one because I have the worst voice in the world. I think no one will get through the podcast. They'll turn it off immediately. So let's do an icebreaker.
Let's do an icebreaker. Okay. So blue is questions relating to courage. Gray, questions relating to your dreams, hopes, and aspirations. And then yellow is life lessons.
I think given the context of this podcast, I'm going to go with gray.
Okay.
That is life aspirations, right?
You can shovel it or take the top.
No, I'm going to take the top. I feel like I'm going to take the top. Oh, now I've taken like 5. Let me take the top one still. There we go. Okay. Do I read it?
I'm actually thinking as we speak of it, I probably should have read it. But
I'm going to read it.
You can read it.
What have you done in the last 6 months that you're most proud of? Oh, I actually have an answer for this one, and it is career related.
Yay.
So I started my career at Deloitte, the Green Dot, and it was amazing, an incredible experience. But I reached a point when I knew I wanted to go somewhere else and experience more of a corporate life rather than the professional services one.
Okay.
So I made that tough decision to move to R&B and leave Deloitte behind. And like I said, I really enjoyed my team. I loved what I was doing there. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
But it just felt like the right move for me. And it was really, really hard. And I'm sure everyone who's gone through the interview process and has gone through changing careers, it is so stressful and so tough and you feel a bit lost.
Yeah.
And the interview processes are horrible. They really are.
Interviews are generally horrible.
It's just tough and it's stressful. And you feel like you forget everything, right? They ask you, what are your 5-year plans? You're like, oh my God, what are my 5-year plans? How old am I now? So for me, the biggest thing that I've done in the last 6 months and what I'm most proud of was making that move from Deloitte to RMB, and both incredible organizations. But I just feel like I really, really belong at RMB. I'm so happy there. It's been amazing. Love the team I'm working for. But it was terrifying. And it was terrifying to make that decision. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm most proud of in the last 6 months.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start at the beginning. So I didn't even mention this, but when I said Shannon is a multi-hyphenate,
But
you are
going.
You have all the alphabets after your name. So you are CASA, Chartered Accountant.
Yeah.
You have the ACMA, CGMA, which is
Management Accountant.
So
it's Chartered Global Management Accountant. Yeah.
And then you have these ones that start with F. You're going to help me with
Yes. So I must remember them now because it's quite hard. And that's what I was saying. Or if you actually have to put it into practice for it to mean anything. But it's the FMVA, which is Financial Modeling and Valuations Analyst. That's a great course. You do it through CFI. Okay. And then the second one is, I think it's FPWA. It's a Financial Planning Wealth Management Analyst, something like that. Yeah, it's also through CFI. So if you do the CFI course, you can get all these different certifications, and I picked those two. But you can do another like 4 or 5. You can get a lot more. But I just I did those. I was like, those are the ones I wanted to do. I'm not going to now just go do all of them and then just have all these letters that mean nothing. I want to actually go do the work in real life to make it mean something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to go back to Shannon as a young girl.
Oh, cute.
Where do you come from?
Baby Shannon.
Baby Shannon before Big Shannon.
Yeah.
Tell us more about where you come from.
Okay.
The family structure, dynamics, all of that.
Yeah. So it's actually, it fits in well with how I ended up where I am now. So I grew up in Addo. I don't know if you've heard of Addo. It's by Addo Elephant National Park. It's a citrus farm in the Eastern Cape. Well, it's a citrus area in the Eastern Cape.
Okay.
So I grew up on a farm there. My dad was a farmer. My mom was a landscaper and had her own nursery. So nothing to do with numbers or business or anything. I mean, granted, they had their own businesses, but they weren't really doing the numbers and the accounting behind it, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up on a citrus farm. It was the most amazing childhood. And I'm not joking when I say this. You literally come home from school and you don't turn the TV on. You go play in the garden or you go run around the farm. And you would literally play hide and seek on the farm or go walk along the river. And it's just amazing. And now you often see these kids come home and they're just in front of the screens all day, right? So I'm so blessed that I had that childhood and it was amazing. When I was 10, my parents got divorced and it was tough, but it was actually at that point, it felt like the right decision for them. And I was already at that stage where I just wanted my parents to be happy. And I think I knew enough to know that it was probably the best decision.
Sure, age 10.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that I always call myself Granny Shani because I've been always an old wise soul, right? Like always thinking about the future, not really living in the right now and trying to just have fun. I was always been very serious and very planned. So I think I knew it was the right decision. Love my family and they were amazing. Growing up in the farm was incredible, but it just was the right move. So my mom took us to Port Elizabeth, which is where she met my stepdad. And my stepdad is just the most incredible person in the world. Honestly, it's one of those really happy stories about divorce where it actually all worked out in the end. It wasn't like it split apart the family. The family actually got closer.
Yeah.
So my stepdad is incredible. And he was a financial planner in Port Elizabeth and had his own company. And I just started getting so interested in what he was doing and looking at the graphs he was building and analyzing people's financials and telling them how long they need to work to be able to retire with this amount of money.
Yes.
And I found it so interesting. And that's kind of where I started enjoying the numbers part of it. But I still was like, I'm never going to be an accountant. I do not want to sit behind a desk. I want to be out there. I want to be moving around. I want to be seeing people. And then good old grade 12 comes and you start applying for varsities and you pick what you want to do. And I picked accounting, funny enough.
Yeah.
And it was because of my stepdad. I knew I wanted to challenge myself. So I wanted to go with one of the tougher degrees, which is, it's a stereotype, but it's like medicine, engineering, accounting, right?
Yes.
And I decided accounting was what I wanted to do. And it wasn't because I wanted to do accounting. I mean, I didn't even study accounting at school. It was because I wanted to get into that career that could open up a lot of doors for me.
Sure.
And I think that's what the CA does.
Yes.
So that's how I started from baby Shan and ended up in accounting.
In accounting.
Yeah.
And how did you choose which institution to pursue accounting?
So I did it in Stellenbosch University. And I mean, one thing, the wine farms. I was so drawn by the Western Cape and the wine farms. And I had been in Port Elizabeth my whole life and the Eastern Cape. So I knew I wanted to leave there. I didn't want to go to a big city. I wanted to go to a smaller place where it feels like a varsity vibe and all the students are walking around.
Yeah.
So it was either going to be Stellies or even Tux in Pretoria because I've also heard the varsity vibe there is amazing and it's still everyone walks around. It feels like a varsity city.
I can confirm that. I'm from
Were you there? Okay, you see exactly. So it was just always those two. And the CA in Stellies, that was just the one that I had heard the most of. I knew the most people who were going there. So I decided on that one.
Yeah.
But again, the wine farms. The wine farms are like this big shining light that made it an easy decision.
Sure.
Yeah.
And your varsity experience, were you at Res? or off campus?
Yeah. So I actually didn't want to go to res because I'd never been a boarder. I was always at home, and I didn't really like the idea of having to now share this tiny room with a person.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share with someone, but I wanted to have my own room and share a flat. So I started at Academia, which is a private residence.
Okay.
So it's a res, but it's not one of the standard ones with the university. It's a private one that's done separately.
I think Tax also had one.
Yeah.
Well, not Tax, but around Tax there was. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it was amazing, and I had so many friends. And it's also, you still have that like res vibe because they do lots of things together. You still participate in all the university events as if you're a resident, but you don't have to follow the rules. Like, you can't. The first 2 weeks we're allowed to go out, but all the other first years at boarding school aren't allowed, right? There's no curfew, so that was very cool, and I loved it. So I was there for 2 years. Stayed with the same girl for both years, and it was a lot of fun. I went to school with her, so that was quite nice. I went with someone I knew from home, so it made it a bit of an easier transition. And then I moved into my own flat for my third year and my honors year, which was actually really good, especially for honors, because then you do have your own space to just study and learn and focus.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. I mean, I had a boyfriend as well at varsity, so that made the living on my own easier, and probably which is a big factor why I wanted to live on my own. So he was with me most of the time, so it wasn't really like I was on my own, but yeah, it was easy to have my own space.
And academically, would you say it was? So you said you wanted to follow one of the difficult or most difficult programs. Would you say that was the case when you arrived in varsity, especially the difference between being a high school learner and now you're a varsity student?
Yeah.
How was your academic adjustment?
So, I mean, I think I always worked hard. I've always studied hard, but I'm not one of those people who doesn't have to study and does well. I really have to work hard at it, right? I'm not just naturally smart. I have to learn hard and put in the hours.
Yeah.
And if I do that, I can do quite well. But again, I said it's effort, right? It's not, some people just say, oh, I read that page and never forgot it, like photographic memory. And I get very jealous of those people. But so I worked hard. I started working really, really hard in about grade 10. So a bit of a background, because I mean, I think podcasts are where you open up and you speak. Yeah. I went through a bit of a rough patch in my grade 10 year and just over exercised and actually became quite obsessive about everything and lost too much weight. And kind of went into myself. I got very, I stayed by myself at home and I just worked. I studied.
Yeah.
And that's also why I started doing really well. So in grade 8 and 9, I did well, but I wasn't one of the top performers. But then in grade 10, when this all started and I really, really became quite isolated and just worked super hard, that's when I started making like top 5 and top 10 of the year. And then I think in my grade 11 year, I was number 3. So that's also where I started realizing working hard actually can get, you can get results if you put in the hours.
Yeah.
So I took that attitude to varsity and I worked really, really hard throughout varsity, which is actually how I ended up doing the CGMA, was because I got a distinction when I finished third year. So I graduated with distinction cum laude. Okay. And then that's how I started the CGMA route, because they reach out and all those who get the distinction can write the exams, but skip all of the first 9 and just go to the final strategic case study. Which I was like, okay, well, let me do that. And also it really interested me, and I'm sure we'll get to that. But I was so interested in that side of things. So to answer the question, I worked hard throughout school, especially from grade 10, and then just took that attitude through varsity.
Yeah.
Because you're there, right? And it's expensive. So put in the hours and work hard. And like I said, I'm not naturally just smart. You have to actually work.
You put in effort.
Yeah.
I think I'm similar.
Are you the same?
For me to get anything right, I really need to sit and immerse myself.
You studied law, right?
I studied law.
Okay. Yeah. Did you always know you wanted to do that?
No. Not at all.
Really? You kind of figured out as you go, right?
Decision came in matric.
Really?
June of matric.
Okay.
It was very late. I was very late with deciding.
Oh, but it's such a tough decision, and it's so hard to make 18-year-olds choose. And I actually think it's younger. I think you have to pick your courses you pick the subjects you choose in grade 9, which is just crazy. I mean, I didn't even do accounting. And then in grade 11, I think you have to start applying.
What did you do?
I did biology, science, and geography. I did all the sciences because
you started accounting in varsity.
Yes, in varsity. So I had to do a whole bridging course. So you do like the easy one in the first year. They actually call it it's like accounting 188, and then there's accounting 178, and 178 is the hard one. So everyone called 188 Ian Lach. Like, oh, it's the easy one. It doesn't really matter. But I mean, it was my first time doing accounting, so I found it quite tough. I found it very tough. And then you bridge over into the more complex accounting for the CA route.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous how young children need to choose their careers.
Because you have no idea what you want to do, and it keeps changing, right? And I just think of it more as like a process of elimination. You first figure out what you don't want to do before you know what you want to do.
That's true.
So
That is true.
At the age of 18, it's very tough.
Yeah. So you actually started the CGMA before actually going into the CASA stream. So because of your distinction.
Yeah, no. So I mean, I would say I started the CA route because I did that for the 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And then I got the distinction, and then I did my honors, and then you kind of get the CA qualification. You still have to write the board exams and do the 3 years of practical experience, but you've got the degree now for the CA. And when I finished third year, that's when I got that email from CGMA saying, when you finish your honors year, if you want to do the final strategic case study, you can do it and skip all the initial ones. Okay. So I did my strategic case study in my first year of articles. And then I finished my articles 2 years later. And only then did I have the practical experience requirements for both of them. So I got them at the same time. I got both of them, I think, 2023 it was. Yeah.
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 What would you say is the difference? Why both and not just one?
Yeah, so I mean, CASA is incredible, and I post quite a lot about this on LinkedIn, so I'm going to try to remember all of the differences. But basically with the CASA is, I think internationally it's more recognized, and in South Africa as well, the CA is more recognized than CGMA. Actually, probably more so in South Africa. It's a lot more looked upon, I suppose, and people recognize it more than the CGMA side. And the CA route is also, it's very financial focused, and a lot of it is looking back at the past, right? So with accountants, we look at the numbers and we decide, are they right? Are they wrong? We prepare the things of what have already happened. And I always wanted to be more forward looking and future looking. And that's why I love the strategic side of the CGMA, because it's not just so focused on the numbers. You also think of the strategy of the business. And that's how I got into the M&A side of things, was through the strategic case study. Is one of the parts of the exam we wrote was all about M&A and doing a DD. And that's why I was like, oh, this is actually so exciting. Yeah. It's like a transaction that still has to happen, that we're analyzing and deciding if it's a good idea or not. Whereas with the accounting side of it and the financial accounting side of it, you're looking more at what's already happened in the past. Yeah. There's less control, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay. Just going to track back a bit. When you went into your articles, so you started your articles at Deloitte.
Yeah.
How do articles work? Are you placed in a specific team for the entire 3 years, or do you guys rotate? What's the process there?
Yeah, so I think it's very different if you go to a boutique firm or if you go to a bigger firm, right? So I was at Deloitte, which is one of the big four. And the way it worked is you choose whether you want to go into financial services sector or general. I chose financial services, and then you're in that for the whole 3-year period. Okay. Very rarely will they let you change. If you've got a huge issue and you want to change, then sure. And if they also have more clients in the general sector and you're in FS, they might ask you to do a bit of a secondment or one audit in that. But you get given clients, and those are normally your clients throughout the year, unless the firm rotates off. So I was actually, Nedbank was my main client on Nedbank Group. And then RMB, funny enough, was my other clients, which is what first exposed me to RMB culture and the company. And that's where I first fell in love with it. So it was from my first year of articles. So I had the same clients throughout and stayed in the same teams throughout. But obviously each year, the third years go off and then first years come in. Okay. So the team changes, but the sectors and portfolio you have normally stays the same. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then when you stayed on, they always say, I always hear that articles and audit are very difficult.
Yeah.
What was your experience?
So I think I do get sad about it, but it's not a poor me, pity me party. But I started articles in COVID, right? So we lost out on all of those activities that they did, like the soccer nights and the soccer tours and the weekends away, and building that camaraderie between the articles. And I really do think a lot of the time you trauma bond, right? Because you're stuck at the office until like 3 a.m. and you're eating the same leftovers every night, you takeaways, and it's exhausting. But you get really close. But I think the part that I really missed out on was the parties afterwards and the dinners afterwards to celebrate, you know, all those small things that mean a lot. And I mean, I think my first event at Deloitte was at the end of my second year. And it was a small function at the office. We had curfew. We had to be home at about 10. So my fiance was at Deloitte during the good old days. And I say I mean the pre-COVID days. And the stories I heard, I was like, wow, we had very different experiences. But it was amazing. I mean, you learn a lot, and I don't think you realize how much you learn until you leave. And I've seen it now with my role. I mean, a lot of the people who didn't go through articles don't have the same experience with clients or same engagement, or also the pressure, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everyone. I'm just saying a lot of times you see that the articles experience really does give you all of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what led to you wanting to leave?
So, those are tough questions. Oh my goodness gracious. So I think for me, and I'm going to make it all exactly what my main driver was, is I just saw what my seniors in the team were doing, and it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that for me is, like I said, I always think about the future, right? I'm not just thinking about now. And I'm like, in 5 years' time, do I want to do what my senior manager is doing? And then in 10 years' time, do I want to do what the partners are doing? And for me specifically, it wasn't. A lot of people it might be, and it really is an incredible team to be in, because you learn a lot of technical detail, and the experience you get is amazing, and the people you meet is amazing. But I just knew it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I was like, why am I going to wait another 2 years if you could have learned a lot more? I could have learned a lot more in that team, sure, because I only stayed in it for, I think, 18 months.
Okay.
But it wasn't my long-term plan. And I was like, I need to find my long-term plan.
I mean, moving to R&B, so I see you are Client Intelligence Analyst.
Yes, a CIA.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't either. Don't worry. It's just a title. And that's actually what I really love at R&B is it's just a title. You can do it. It's up to you what you want to do. But basically what we do, right, is I say our team is kind of the sales for the bank. Okay. So it used to be called coverage. And what we do is we cover the clients. We do the relationship building with them. We go and see them. We decide, well, not decide. We talk to them about what they need. And then we put them in touch with the right people at the bank.
Okay.
So it's really, really exciting. I love it so much. There's a lot of client engagement, and the team I'm with are incredible.
Yeah.
And it's just been the most amazing change, because it's really playing to my strengths, I think. And I've always thought my strengths are more the networking side of the thing and the engagement side, rather than the technical analysis, which is what I was saying earlier, is I'm not naturally super smart, right? So I think I shine more in this team than I did before.
Yeah.
I feel more confident, that is. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, really happy. I get so excited when I think about it. And it's quite amazing, because if people ask me, do you enjoy your job? I can genuinely say I love it. I really, really love it. So yeah, it's amazing.
I think judging by your personality, just the ability to go out, engage with clients and convince, you need this. Come.
Sales. I always think the two most important skills in life are negotiating and sales. And I didn't really have exposure to others. And now I've got so much exposure to it, and I'm still learning, and there's so much to learn. But it's really cool, because I think those are two very, very important skills to have.
True.
Yeah.
And where would you say do you still find yourself applying any skills you learned from the certifications that you actually have?
Well, 100%. Like I was saying, the FMVA, which is the financial modeling and valuations, so incredible for Excel. Wow, like Excel is such a powerful tool, right? And I don't think we actually understand how powerful it is. And then I did this course, and they show you all these different models you can build and the different formulas you can use. And I use that every single day in my job now, because we're doing analysis, we're doing budgets, we're building forecasts and things like that. I don't do as much forecast building as I did before, and model building as I did before, but I still learned a lot of skills from that. The financial planning one, which I think FPWM, financial planning and wealth management, that one was more for me for a personal level, because I'm very into investing and saving and building my wealth long term. And that one I did more for me. Like I said, my dad was a financial planner. So I felt like it's also something we could talk about, and I would have more knowledge about what he's talking about. So that's why I did that one. And then, the CGMA one is just so good for having a broader view of everything and picturing the future of the business, rather than just thinking about what's already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested a lot in the CGMA one for someone who's still in varsity.
Yeah.
And they want to follow that. What is the primary undergraduate degree you need to have? What comes next? Like, how do I get that certification?
So, I mean, I think you can do most finance related courses. So if you do a BCom or a BCom science or accounting, any of those, they're perfect for investment management as well. They're perfect for the CGMA route. And actually something that I wish I knew about when I was younger, because I also think, like I was saying, when you're 18, you're too young to make these decisions, right? You don't know what's out there.
Yeah.
If I could go back, and I'm so grateful for the CASA, and it's opened all these doors, and I would never take that away for the world. But when I was in the M&A team at Deloitte, what was amazing is there's a whole grad program there for grads who just finished their BCom degrees or BCom finance or investment management, and they're now doing a 2-year article program at Deloitte, for example, where they're going through the different M&A teams.
Okay.
And I think that is really amazing. So those who are doing their CGMA, you can go from any degree you did. And I think doing it through the CMA website online is so easy because you can do it in your own time. You can do it at home. You don't have to go in at all. You can do it all from home, which is really nice and flexible because often when you're doing it, you're also working, right? So you get that part-time kind of study vibe. And I think, start from your undergrad and then go onto the ACMA portal and they'll give you all the instructions. ACMA is very user-friendly. It's really, really helpful. And you have a lot of courses you can do online and they take you through the study programs and you can do it while you're working. And if you go, like, for example, Deloitte gives you study leave for it as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Really, really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
But again, if anyone needs any guidance on how to do it, go onto the CMA website, just www.com.
Yeah.
It's so easy. So just Google it and you'll get it.
Yeah.
And they give you all the step-by-step instructions.
One thing I enjoy about your LinkedIn.
Oh, my LinkedIn. Still quite my LinkedIn.
How informative and how easily you break down what's happening in the M&A space.
Yeah.
When did that start? And when was the interest sparked?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to announce on transactions that are happening and.
Yeah.
I think that's really amazing.
Thank you. No, it was really, I don't actually even know how it started. It was when I finished my secondment in Denmark. So after my articles, I did a 3-month secondment in Denmark and then traveled for a bit. And I joined the M&A team and I just couldn't believe how many deals were actually going on in the market because you only normally hear about it when they're announced and they're final or they're live. And I was like, wow, this is so interesting. And I'm sure other people would be interested too. But I kind of kept that in the back of my head. And at that same time, I started posting more advice on LinkedIn. So it wasn't anything relevant to career. It was just like, well, these are 10 lessons for today. And these are 10 lessons to save money and random things like that. And they didn't really gain traction. And then I started thinking, I was like, wait, I'm so interested in about the M&A dynamics and the market dynamics. Let me start posting about it. And I made sure I always posted only factual information that was available publicly because obviously, M&A deals are so confidential. So I never wanted to get into trouble for that. So I always just made sure it was things that is publicly out there, something I found online, which means anyone else can find it online, right? It didn't come from any internal sources.
Yes.
And I started posting about it and it just started building. But like anything, right, it takes time. At the beginning, you get 1 or 2 likes, maybe 1 repost every now and then. And then over time, it starts building. And I've been doing it for about 2 years now. I did have to stop for a bit when I joined RMB just to understand the internal dynamics with M&A because RMB is an investment bank, right?
Yes, and they do a lot.
Yeah, so it was a bit more, I had to be a bit more careful and I did pause it for a while. And you'll see now I'm not actually doing just M&A updates and I'm trying to actually avoid the M&A part of it. I'm talking more business updates now. So, and it's also actually just as interesting because there's so much going on in business every day in South Africa. So a little bit less of the M&A updates, still some M&A involved that something gets announced and it's out there and it's huge and it's public.
Yeah.
But just to be a bit more safe, given that I'm at an investment bank now and RMB is one of the market leaders and they've won so many awards, I'm like, let me just be a bit more careful and talk about updates.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And it's been, people seem to still be really interested in it, which is nice.
Definitely. Please continue.
Thank you. Thank you. I will.
I absolutely enjoyed it.
It's just nice having some easy access summaries, right? You've gone to all these different articles and each article is something slightly different and they are so long and you can't pull out the important information. So I've just been trying and I learned so much by doing it, which is really nice. Yeah. All about the learning.
On a more, not personal, but lighter, how do you do work-life balance?
Oh, so I feel like I'm very lucky because the team I'm in now, we really do have a great work-life balance. At Deloitte as well, it wasn't terrible, but I found we worked quite a bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at R&B there's a really, really good balance. And it's not necessarily that the hours are less, but it's more that, I don't know, the team engages really well with each other and you take a bit more breaks and you go for a walk for coffee. Whereas at Deloitte, I found I kind of just stayed at my desk and worked. And that's my own fault. I've now focused more on getting the balance. And I really have started focusing now that, long term work is amazing. And I love R&B, but it's a job, right? They will replace you in a second if you go.
Oh, that is so
And
true.
you might let some people down, but the company overall moves on. Like the company will replace you in a second. So you need to put other people first. And for me, it's like my fiance and my friends and my family. You've got to put them first because they're the ones who are going to be there for you long term. And also we are very lucky in our jobs as no one's going to die if it's not done tomorrow morning or if it's not done tonight, right? You don't have to get it done immediately. And I think I've just been trying to remind myself of that. Like you have to work hard. And I think working hard is the expectation these days. Working hard doesn't mean, oh, I'm amazing. Working hard is the expectation. That's the base, kind of. That's the standard. So you still have to work hard, but you've got to find ways to have a balanced life. Otherwise, you're just going to burn out. Yeah. Got to find those small things that keep you happy. Like for me, it's a coffee, going for a siesta coffee or going for a walk and getting a coffee. It's the best thing in the world.
Are you in the paddle world?
I am. I actually played paddle this morning, but I've got this injury, so it's so sore. And I shouldn't have played, but I played this morning. And it's just finding those small things that make you smile and keep you happy.
That is absolutely true.
Do you play paddle?
I am trying. I'm
so much
scared to
fun.
say I play it because I'm not yet good.
Oh,
or at
no,
the level that I think.
I think it's the best when you don't start as soon as you start getting competitive, it takes away some of the joy from it.
Yeah, that's true. That's also true.
No, but good on you. It's fun. Paddle's good. And I love the little outfits and everything. It's cute. Yeah. It's more about the outfits.
That's
all I do after. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to close off now.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask, is there anything that I did not ask, especially around your career journey, that you would like to share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's, for me, the most important thing I've realized is you're allowed to pivot and make changes, right? And you kind of, when you're young, you start off with this whole idea and you think, okay, this is my plan and this is what I'm going to do. And then things happen, right? And it doesn't go according to plan. And for me, the most important thing is just accepting that, because I'm a bit of a control freak, significant A type personality. And I think you probably are too, right? So you have to let go of being able to control everything. Things are going to happen, and allow yourself to change and make decisions that are better for you.
Yeah.
So if you know it's not it's not going to work out long term, or it's not going to fill your cup long term, make a change now rather than wait another 5 years and then you wasted 5 years of your life being unhappy and not completely content, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
And it's things, unfortunately, we realize in hindsight. So you start off with the control personality, and then later in life, you're like, actually.
And hindsight is the worst thing, because logically it makes sense, but it's always looking back, it's like, oh, that's why that happened, right? And I should have done that now because I can see it. But that's not how life works. You've got to think about now and make a decision now. So it's just accepting that you're not going to be able to control everything, but allowing yourself to pivot and make changes.
Yeah.
Make sure you're happy. Make sure you're happy. Life's too short.
Make sure
Life is too short. So you find a job that you enjoy. And there are jobs out there that you can enjoy. And you've got to find the right company for you and work with the right people.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's where you are.
Yeah, that is where I am, which I'm very lucky. But I suppose if one piece of advice is, make sure what you're doing, you're always learning. If you're not learning anymore and you're the smartest person in the room, find a new room to be in.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it's something I heard a while ago, actually, and I've just tried to keep that with me.
You're not learning.
Get out. It's time to move on. Time to make a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pick one last card.
Okay. What were the blue and the...
So blue is courage, and then yellow is life lesson.
Oh, I think I'm going to go yellow. So my sister's getting married in a month. And our bridesmaids' dresses are yellow. So I feel like yellow is the one for me. What decision are you grateful you didn't make? Well, that is a tough one. What decision? This is actually not like this is going to be very less wow.
Okay.
But my ring I'm so grateful I didn't have to choose my ring because I'm so indecisive. And I had so many options. And it was one of those things that every time I thought about it, I was starting to panic. So I'm very grateful that I didn't have to make the choice about my ring. And shout out to my fiance. He made a good choice. So
it's such a beautiful
thank
ring.
you. It took a long time to get it right though, but we got there eventually.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, getting married next year, April. So how crazy is this? I have 2 sisters and all 3 of us got engaged within 8 weeks of each other and we're all getting married now. So October, November, then I'm April next year.
Wow.
Yeah, my poor father, right? He is a financial planner, so he's had the financial background to understand this. But
sure, what a straight job for him. But exciting as well.
It is. I'm trying to think about a better answer, but I honestly...
That's a good answer.
It is. It's okay, right?
It's okay. Doesn't always have to be...
It's a very good question, though. Do you have an answer for it? What decision are you grateful you didn't make?
Oh, my goodness.
It's tough, right?
It is.
Because you always think about what decisions I'm happy I made, but not really about the ones I haven't made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I actually have a career-related one, right? Mm-hmm. So my team at RMB now is not the team I initially interviewed for. I initially interviewed for the corporate finance team, actually, and went through about 5 rounds of interviews and thought it went really well. But I got a call from HR asking if I'd rather be interested in interviewing for the team I'm in now. And I initially said no because I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And eventually my now boss phoned me and was like, hi, I would love to meet you for a coffee. I've spoken to the people who interviewed you. I've gone through your CV and I think you'd be a great fit for the team. And again, I was like, I'm so unsure about this, but I was like, never say no to opportunities, right? Yeah. So I went and chatted to her and straight away I was like, oh, wow, this is the team for me. But it wasn't a decision I made. I didn't choose to apply for that team. They figured out through the interview process that this team was probably better suited for me. And it's amazing. It really is. Now that I'm in it and I know what our team does and I know what they do and I know the work hours and I know just different dynamics of the teams, I'm so grateful I am where I am now. Yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of professionals comprise of this team?
Oh, it's so amazing because it's all so different. We have actuaries, we have CAs, we have someone who studied agriculture. It's all so different, and there's doctors, there's people who were in mining before. And I suppose because we become the sector experts, you've got to have people who have different backgrounds and experiences.
Yes.
So it's really, really cool. And I mean, I actually think most corporates now are, I don't want to say moving away from the traditional CA route, but I mean, they're loving hiring a broad range of people because you get different kind of experiences, different expertise, different backgrounds, different thoughts, different way your minds work, like an actuary and a engineer think very differently to an accountant, right?
Yeah.
And you also have a lot of engineers. So it's really amazing. It's opened up a lot of different processes in my brain because I was so used to just being surrounded by CAs and accountants. And they're amazing too, but we all think very similarly, right? Yeah. Like they always say, how do you know that there's CAs in the room? And it's because they tell you, because that's all they talk about. We always talk about auditing and accounting and work. And it's nice to be surrounded by people who have a different mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. Did the CASA designation for you personally come with that pride? Because a lot of CASAs have that.
Yeah. So I actually, yes, to answer your question, yes. I felt very proud of myself when I got that CA. And I think it is something you should be proud of. And when I joined RMB, I noticed everyone's signatures don't have the designation, right? So like at Deloitte, it's Shannon May Gerber, and then you have that like long dash hyphen thingy, and then CASA.
I said Gerber.
No. So it is Gerber in South Africa, but my dad's family is Swiss, so it was Gerber, and then he was in Zimbabwe, and it was Gerber, and then in South Africa, it's Gerber.
Okay.
So yeah, it is Gerber's right. It's fine. I just say Gerber. It doesn't matter. But I joined RMB and I saw that no one used their qualifications in their signature. And I didn't do it for the first few weeks. And then I was like, you know what? I'm so proud of having the CASA designation. I'm putting it in my signature.
Yes.
So I think the only person at RMB who has their qualifications in their signature, but I'm proud of it. I'm going to tell the world I'm a CASA and it just makes me feel happy. So yes, we worked 7 years to get it, right? So
that's true.
Put it in your signature.
That is true. That is true. Don't shy away from it.
Exactly. But I do think one thing that CAs don't really think about is it's not as easy to get a job straight out of articles outside of audit. And they always tell you once you get your CA, you can do whatever you want. All the doors open up, but it takes time. So give yourself time. I mean, I got very lucky joining the team I did, but that's because I stayed on at Deloitte. If I applied for an M&A team outside of Deloitte, I probably wouldn't have gotten it because I didn't have the right experience.
Yeah.
So be easy on yourself. It takes time. And just know that if you have to stay in audit for a few more months or stay at your professional services firm for a few months, do it. And then eventually you'll be able to branch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, since you were at Stellenbosch, when you did articles, did you go to Deloitte Cape Town or Deloitte Joburg?
No, so I came to Joburg because I was ready for big city life.
Okay.
I grew up on a farm, then I was in the Eastern Cape, then I was in States, and I was ready for the big city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're loving it.
Loving it. Yeah. It's. I mean, I always thought Joburg was a 5-year plan for me, and then 4 years came, and we started talking about moving somewhere else. I was like, no, we're staying here. It's the right place for the career. The people are amazing. My friends are here.
Yeah.
So it was always a short-term plan, and now it's the long-term plan. Yeah, it's an amazing place.
It is. I love Joburg. I did my articles in Cape Town and then moved to Joburg.
Where did you grow up? Because you said you studied in Pretoria.
I grew up in Limpopo.
Oh, so you've also done a bit of a move around the country.
I've moved around.
We have been exploring.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the long-term plan.
So you're also here long-term?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the plan.
No, it's beautiful here. And beautiful might not be the right word, but the people are beautiful. And the weather is beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, today is quite cold, but in general, the weather is beautiful.
Yeah. Shannon, thank you so much.
Thank you for
gracing my platform and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. It really has been so wonderful. Like, our first ever podcast, hopefully not my last. If you need to come on again, let me know. This is fine.
Every podcaster out there, here's Shannon at your service.
Thank you so much. It's amazing.
To the viewers and the listeners at home, thank you so much. If you have any comments, please do leave them in the comment section. And see you next week again with another guest. Sharp.
I love that. Thank you.
Done.
That was very cool. It was amazing. You are a very, very good host. Is that what the right word is? I think that's the right word. You make everyone feel very comfortable, it seems. Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing. Thank you.